Mirabel's wish.
Mirabel was born into a chaotic polygamous home in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria. Her father had 3 wives, and the household was constantly filled with tension, jealousy, and strife. As the youngest daughter of the second wife, Mirabel felt neglected and unloved. Her mother, weighed down by the struggles of being a middle wife, had little time to nurture her children. Feeling abandoned and yearning for attention, Mirabel rebelled as a teenager. She turned to a group of older friends who introduced her to nightlife, partying, and drugs. By the age of 18, she was fully immersed in a life of immorality, clubbing, stealing, and engaging in destructive relationships. Despite the thrills, Mirabel felt an emptiness gnawing at her soul. In her darkest moments, she often whispered a wish to herself, "I just want to be happy, to feel loved and free." But each time, she silenced the thought with more reckless behavior. One fateful night, during a street party, Mirabel met Daniel, a quiet, unassuming young man who was helping a friend manage the event. Unlike the men Mirabel was used to, Daniel wasn't interested in her wild antics. Instead, he saw through her facade and noticed the pain in her eyes. Over time, their paths crossed again and again, and Mirabel found herself drawn to Daniel's calm and genuine spirit. He listened when she spoke and didn't judge her for her past. Slowly, Daniel began introducing her to new ways of seeing the world. Mirabel's love for Daniel sparked a desire to change her life. She started attending church with him and joined a community outreach program, where she met women who had turned their lives around after similar struggles. Inspired by their stories, Mirabel began seeking help for her addiction and worked to reconcile with her estranged family. Her journey wasn't easy. She faced temptations, relapses, and the shame of her past. Her stepmothers mocked her efforts, and some friends abandoned her. But Daniel stood by her side, offering unwavering support. As Mirabel's faith deepened, she found strength in forgiveness, both of others and herself. She forgave her father for his neglect, her mother for her struggles, and even the broken relationships of her past. With Daniel's encouragement, she began speaking at youth programs, sharing her story of transformation. Eventually, Mirabel and Daniel got married, building their home on a foundation of love, faith, and compassion. Mirabel started a nonprofit dedicated to helping young women from troubled homes find hope and direction. On the night of her first major charity event, Mirabel stood before a crowd of hundreds, tears streaming down her face. As she talked about her story and struggles and also the dangers that follows living in an undignified life. She had finally fulfilled the wish she had whispered all those years ago. She was happy, loved, and free, both by the grace of God and through her own courage.